Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Shane McGuigan here at Craig Richards Fight Week. It's been a little bit of a while for Craig. How are you doing, Shane?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Excited. It's the first press conference I've been to with Craig, and obviously Fight Weeks. It's a different experience, isn't it? Obviously, for someone like Craig, he's been with Peter Sims and the Matchroom Gym for 8.5 years, and obviously it's a different environment for him. So I'm glad that it's not on a massive show. In the sense, like there's enough eyeballs on him, and there'll be enough boxing fans to sort of zone in on him. But if it was, for instance, on a Eubank versus Ben massive show in Tottenham, it would be a different one as his first one with me. So I'm happy that we've got this platform. And yeah, look, it's just 19 months, 20 months out of the ring. It's really important for him to get going again. But I'm really excited because he's lost those fights against Boatsi and Bivol by a whisker. I thought the Boatsi fight was closer than the scorecards. I think the Bivol one, was quite fair. So, but both of them, he gave a great account of himself and came on late in fights. And I think if with the right strategy, with the right training, with the right tactics, and just over time, I genuinely believe he can beat those opposition.
Up there on the stage, he was saying about the amount he's learned in the short time that he spent with you, and that maybe he didn't think he had that much to learn at this stage in his career. That's got to be a huge positive.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big positive for him. I mean, I don't want to overwhelm him and flood him with things that might offset him too much. But he can definitely fight. He's very good at boxing. He's got all of the main ingredients that it takes time to really. I mean, you can have a prospect in here and you can do 10 to 15 fights, and you don't really know if they can concentrate when the crowd's going, or when they get hit and hurt. They have the right instincts to be able to hold and do the right things. But he's passed and ticked all them boxes. Now we just need to refine a few things, and I think he's aware of that, and he's a student of the game. That's exactly the person I want to be working with. I've had big time boxers in the gym in the past, and a lot of the time I've developed fighters from scratch the whole way through to that top level. But one of the most enjoyable experiences of my coaching career is working with George Groves, someone that could and should have won a world title before he got to me. But whenever we started working together, his best days were then, and he won the world title and got all the big fights after that. So I hope this goes in that pattern.
It's one of the excitements of working with Craig that if he does get a win on Saturday night, he propels himself into a thriving light heavyweight scene over here. It's probably, outside of the heavyweights, maybe the best division. Yeah,
definitely. Domestically, it's brilliant. I mean, you got Boatsi that's just won a good win. Even Dan Azim put on a good show, and then obviously you got Yard as well. You got Callum Smith, who's Callum Smith potentially wants a couple more. I know he might even move up to cruiserweight. Do you know what I mean? So you never know how long or what opportunity he's going to be looking at, because he's had these massive fights, these massive experiences. But I know that people like Boatsi is an option, Aziz is an option, Yard's definitely an option as well. So these are the fights we'll be targeting. And look, if Callum Smith wants to fight with Craig, then yeah, 100%. But the most important thing, as you said, is just winning and getting back into winning ways and doing it in style.
Happy to make those fights after Saturday night?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, like you've seen already, he stepped up against Bivol, he stepped up against Boatsi, and obviously at the start of his career with no experience, he stepped up against Buglioni. So, but a lot of fighters that can do a lot of fighters and dent their confidence. But if anything, it's just give him more something more between the teeth to really chomp it a bit, because he's always given a really good account of himself, and he's always grew in those fights. And I think he always felt like if there was another couple of rounds, or if he'd have started a little bit quicker. And these are the things that you can change.
Some big news broke yesterday from the EBU ordering Adam Azim against Dalton Smith. For yourself, was that a little bit out of the blue? Was that expected?
We knew that was going to be expected. Yeah. So that was always going to be the case. we didn't know if Dalton Smith was going to fight in the meantime, and it just turns out that he has boxed, and he's boxing against the PETA end of March. So we're not sure. We'll have some discussions with Matchroom. We'll have some discussions with the EBU, and see what's going on.
Feel Adam Azim's completely ready for that level?
Definitely. I mean, is Dalton Smith ready for that level? You know what I mean? It's like that. They've both boxed similar standards. I mean, like Sam Maxwell's his last fight, and Sam Maxwell's he's a shell of himself. You know what I mean? And before that, he was boxing British level. His best opponent's Casey Benjamin. You know, and Adam Azim's best opponent is Aram Fanian. So, who I believe beats Casey Benjamin. So, but that's all irrelevant. That's all. You know, they both won, and they've both done exactly what they need to do to get to this position. So, do I think it's going to make the most financial sense right now? Absolutely not. It doesn't make anywhere near the same financial sense that it would do in a year or two's time. But it also might be the right breakout fight for someone like Adam. So we're obviously going to sit and discuss, and we'll see what the EBU call, and then we'll make a decision from there.
And we know how much the promotional divides can make a difference in these fights. Obviously, Matchroom are currently going through a lawsuit with Boxer over the contract of Joshua Buatsi. Do you believe that those things could play a part in negotiations?
Really, any of my business, to be honest. It's none of my business. I don't think it would. Look, Matchroom are a genuine company, and so are Boxer. At the end of the day, it's business, and it's just at the interest of the fighters. And because one of their fighters is in a legal dispute, doesn't mean that it's going to completely deter other ones. So look, we'll see what goes on.
Chris Billam-Smith, are we ready to announce the fight with Richard Biakbor? Is that 100% there now?
Yeah, it's 100% there. Yeah, we're definitely boxing him. It looks like it's going to happen in potentially April, May time. So just firming up a venue, and then we'll get cracking.
For Chris, how different is that fight to the first time they met? Because I know they've both improved hugely since then.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've both gained a lot of experience. I believe after that fight, Richard had more experience going into that fight. He knocked out Tommy McCarthy. He'd done, and then he obviously went on afterwards, beat Jack Massey and a few other people. So, I think the momentum was more in Riakpor's favour back then. I think now the momentum's more in Chris Billam-Smith's favour. It was a split decision, loss for Chris. He felt like he won it. I felt like he was a bit busier than Riakpor, but the telling shots were in Riakpor's favour. So we have to definitely work on a good strategy and a good game plan, and I think it's one that we will be able to execute and get the victory.
Final subject for me, because I know you want to get off. You spoke to my colleague, I think Keith Fraser, last week about the news regarding Fury's cut. Has your opinion on the fight changed at all with the new date announced?
No, I don't think it changes much. As I said, I'm pretty sure I said it was like it's going to be in the balance of a round, whether it goes either way. I feel like I'm favouring Fury a little bit, but I could see it going either way. I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be 7-5 one way or the other, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how they both sort of. I mean, I think Usyk will get a lot of the early rounds, I believe, and I think it will take time. It will take Fury having to switch it up a little bit and press the fight later on. But the cut, scar tissue happens, could open up again, but I'm sure he'll have a good cutsman, and he's savvy enough not to get hit again. He's and let it get opened up. I think he's elusive enough to be able to get through things like that. So we'll see.
If the cut does open up before the next date, we know there's
what an anticlimax that would be.
And $10 million fine for whoever would pull out.
Well, you can't. Yeah, I mean, don't know. I heard that, but
unfair on Usyk at all? Do you think, considering it would be his first time pulling out of the fight?
No, because I don't think he'll pull out the fight. I think if anyone's going to pull out the fight, it will be Fury, because of the cut.
Cheers for your time, Shane.